Welcome back to Foxfied Amplified. At the table with us is Victoria Saha. Here's a story that we're going to talk about that has been kind of developing on and on and on since it first started, a couple months ago.
April.
Yeah, April. Working dogs in Nevada. We got some video. A person that used to work there turned in video to the police. There was some talk of abuse. There were two people that were charged, or originally were going to be charged in this. And then it just seems there's been updates and updates and updates. And even today, as we were walking in here, there was yet another update, at least tied to this case. So let's go back to the beginning and tell people what happened in case they forget.
Okay, so Working Dogs of Nevada, a facility that claims to train, rehabilitate homes, and they bring in dogs from other rescues as well. That there was this worker there. You may call her a whistleblower, but her name's out there, Kerrigan. Yeah. She started a job there, and then she started noticing some questionable training practices. She was taking video of that on her phone. And we were the first ones to have that video. You could see the trainer, John Johnstone, kind of dragging a dog. It looked like he may have been kicking a dog. Police got involved. They did their own investigation. They then got all the surveillance video as well from the training facility. And in that arrest report, Tom, you see pictures of the trainer swinging the dogs up in the air, dragging. Just for animal lovers, of course, it's going to be disturbing. So, but he wasn't the only one who was arrested and charged, who was facing charges. A woman named Tabitha Berube, also who worked at the facility. Police had said that she failed to intervene. We have a new law here in Nevada, Reba's law, increased the penalties as well. And I know when our Sophia Bruinsma sat down with Metro detectives who did this case, they said under Reba's law, a bystander also will, get in trouble for not intervening. And that's why they charged Tabitha. So
so there's the two people originally, and we'll get to why we say charged in a second, but there's these two people. Johnstone, court records show that he is in the country illegally, or that he has.
So we didn't know that. And the first court hearing back in April, when it was Tabitha appeared via Zoom, she was the one who notified the court that, he was in ICE custody. Fast forward to earlier this week, we find out he's been deported back to Scotland. And then we also find out Tabitha, the one count of animal abuse charge that she was facing, that's been dropped. So her case has been dismissed. And this has now sparked outrage amongst animal advocates. The story does not end there.
So he is gone, but there's a warrant out, or a bench warrant.
There's a bench warrant out,
for his
but
arrest, but
he's out of the country. So the judge had said that, they're waiting for the public defender's office to make contact with him to maybe try to resolve this case. What that means, we don't know. Because again, he's out of the country.
Yeah.
What's the possibilities of them, bringing him back in here?
For this type of a case, probably pretty low.
Yeah. Yes. So,
well, you talked to some people this week. You were talking about animal activists. So, like, Reba's law came about a year or so ago after
in the last legislative session.
Yeah, pretty horrific case with a dog that was nicknamed Reba, and then that kind of is where the law came from. A lot of people saw the case, and so these folks, some of the people that fought for that, they're like, well, hey, what the heck? Like, this is supposed to protect the animals by anybody that's involved, but maybe not whistleblowing or doing something. Maybe they're doing, that they're involved. They're implicit in this if they're not helping out.
Right. So earlier this week, he was in court. So he's like very passionate about this. He was in court. John Wadby is his name. He's the founder of Nevada Animal Advocates. Also pushed for Reba's law and helped make that happen. He was completely shocked that the case was dismissed against Tabitha Berube. And we thought it ended there. Apparently not. He filed a formal complaint with the AG's office and the state bar to have them do an independent review of the Clark County District Attorney's Office on why or why not are they not prosecuting these cases to the fullest.
So that's the development that happened today. If you're watching this, it's Friday the 26th when we're recording this. I know you're working on a story for the news tonight about that. So what does that all entail? What does that say?
So Mr. Wadby had listed out several cases where, some suspects face little to no jail time. He also mentioned the Working Dogs case. We have another case in the works, our Flamingo kidnapper case.
Yeah.
We still don't know what's going on with that one.
And there's another case of the woman that had the duck at Venetian.
Exactly. So,
by the way, what's up with people in the
leave these birds alone.
Waterfowl on the strip. Just leave them alone. Let them do their thing.
I brought all the complaint to District Attorney Steve
Yeah.
Wolfson today, and he pushed back. He said their approach is very solid.
Mm-hmm.
I asked if this criticism is going to, change his approach again to the cases moving forward. He said no. And he basically said that a plea deal is not a bad thing because, the person is pleading guilty, and then they, work out negotiations, whatever that may be, because he also cited that we don't have enough judges, we don't have enough prosecutors to get all these cases to go through a trial. We know that's a lengthy process.
Yeah.
There could be appeals, there could be overturned. So he was just giving his side, and he said that the public is misinformed. He also said that in the last 2 years, his office has gotten maybe about 171 animal abuse cases, and 19 of them were denied. That's a small number compared to the 171 that he was talking about. And I asked him, do most of these end in a plea deal? He said, yes.
Well, they also have to have enough evidence to charge a case.
Yes.
Or to see it through a trial. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, whether it goes to trial or not,
Exactly.
they have to push forward like it is. And if they don't believe they have the evidence for whatever the particular charge is to find that person guilty, or a jury to find that person guilty, then
They have to prove
they have
beyond
yeah.
reasonable doubt. And if they don't have that, then they'll lose that charge anyway.
So what happens now with this? I mean, is it just we have to see if a state entity or somebody will do an
Yeah,
investigation?
we have to see. John Wadby, who filed it, he's optimistic that anyone will actually intervene. He put the letter through certified mail yesterday, so he, it's making its way. But DA Wolfson says he will welcome an independent review into his office regarding these cases.
Okay, so this story is not over either. And before we go, we should mention what happened to the dogs, because I know everybody that listens to this are animal lovers. They'll be like, what happened to the dogs? So they were returned to their owners in some cases.
Yeah, one of my follow-ups, a Southern Southern California pit bull rescue came all the way here to get a couple of those dogs out. One of those dogs, Dottie, was in the police report. You can see Dottie being swung in the air. So she and another dog went back to California. They were originally taken to the Animal Foundation, but the Animal Foundation said, yep, some were taken back to rescue, some went back to their owners. So the dogs
are all safe.
The ones that were confiscated from the facility during the investigation.
Does the facility still operate?
They closed down shortly after. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, there's still more on this story, but you can catch all of Victoria's reporting. You mentioned Sophia's done some reporting on this as well. Fox5Vegas.com, on the Fox 5 Vegas Plus app as well. And it's one of those stories, we say it a lot, but it's true here, to be continued. We'll see what happens. Victoria, thanks for being with us.
Of course.